Hey guys, and welcome back to Full Tilt Drift. So there's a tool that I've wanted for a good long time and just haven't been able to justify a couple $100s for. And that tool is a bending brake. A bending brake is a fabrication tool used to put clean, even bends in a piece of metal. Now I really like to fabricate stuff, which often means putting some bends in a piece of metal, and I've never had a bending brake to do that with. So I've jury-rigged a couple other ways to do it, but none of them have been even close to ideal. I've used some pieces of 2x4 strapped together across the piece of wood to bend it. I've used a hammer in my vise. I've even bent some stuff literally over a rock in my yard. So having a bending brake is becoming a necessity, but even the cheap ones are $200. If you want something stronger or larger scale, you're looking at $400 or more. So today, we're going to build one. I've seen a lot of people making DIY bending brakes on the internet of a bunch of different styles, and it looks completely doable. So we stopped by the local steel yard, got a couple pieces, and today, we're going to make our own bending brake. Now I'm going to do this as simply as possible. So let me show you what we're going to use to make this bending brake. Keep in mind, all of this stuff was from the scrap pile at my local steel yard, except for these two little hinges. So this is pretty much all we're going to need to make this. At the local steel yard, we got these 3 pieces of angle steel. We've got 2 barrel hinges from the steel yard. These are super simple. They are literally just a hinge like that. And we're going to weld them on to make the rotating part of the bending brake, and those were like $1.50 each. Then we got 1 piece of round tube from the steel yard. This isn't DOM, it shouldn't need to be. We're not going to be bending anything real thick on the bending brake. And then we've got this piece of all thread right here that we're going to use to tighten down the 3rd piece of angle steel that's going to hold down our workpiece on the bending brake. So these 3 pieces of angle steel are going to make up the main structure of our bending brake. They're only about 1/8 of an inch thick, so they're not extremely strong, but we're going to put some bracing in to make them stronger. I don't have anywhere to permanently mount this bending brake, so we're going to make it attached to the vise with 1 thick piece of steel plate sticking out of the bottom. That way we can tighten the vise on it, and then it'll mount onto our shop table. So the basic plan here is to get 2 pieces of the angle steel mated up. We're going to weld those barrel hinges in there so that it rotates nicely. Then we'll cut pieces of that all thread and weld those on there so that we can put our 3rd piece of angle steel on there, which is what we'll use to tighten down our workpiece. So I'm pretty excited to finally have this tool, so I'm going to get right into it. We need to cut recesses into our angle steel for our barrel hinges to sit. We need the center line of the hinge to be the center line of the 2 pieces mated together. That way they'll rotate on the same axis and create a nice even bend on the metal. So our bending brake is coming along really nice, and I'm stoked on it. We've got the bottom pieces and the clamping piece pretty much how we want them, and now it's time to add some all thread so that we can actually make this piece clamp down. To do that, we're just going to need to make some flat spots in our clamping piece, then drill holes through them, then weld a couple pieces of all thread onto our base pieces. Then we'll throw some wing nuts on top so that we can tighten it down by hand, and our bending brake will be almost done. Alright guys, that's looking pretty good. We got our clamping piece all set up, our all thread with our nuts is on there, so now we can use this to clamp down our workpiece just like that. We're going to need to make some kind of handle so that I can pull up evenly from the center instead of doing this maneuver every time I need to use this. So now all we got to do is make some handles right about here so that we can bend this side up. We're going to clean it up, and then for some finishing touches we're going to lay a coat of paint on it so that it doesn't rust. Alright guys, the bending brake's all done. It's in working order, and we're going to give it a first test right now. So we've got the bending brake all here on the vise, ready to go. And then we've got this piece of painted aluminum that we're going to try and bend in here real quick for the first test. Alright guys, I'm pretty stoked with that. The bending brake did pretty well. It made nice clean bends all the way across the sheet of aluminum, and it didn't really feel like it was struggling very much to do it either. So that means I should be able to put some thicker pieces of aluminum in here, or some sheet steel, which is what I was doing this for in the first place. So this bending brake isn't super special or super strong, and it's not going to do any cool things that other bending brakes won't. But all said and done, I paid about $18 for this bending brake and about 4 hours of labor, so that's definitely better than $200 plus on my end. Alright guys, that's it for this time. I hope you liked the bending brake that we made, and if you're looking to make one, hopefully this was a good guide for you to make one yourself. We saved like 80% of the cost on this thing, and I'm super stoked about that, and this is why I like to fabricate. So now that I got one tool done and it worked out pretty good, I'm kind of interested in making some more tools. If you guys want to see anything specific, let me know in the comments down below. As always guys, thanks for watching. If you like the content, please do subscribe to my channel and leave me a like, I'd appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time here on Full Tilt Drift.